So Eric, as we've heard and learned a couple years ago, Adobe, big Adobe, Adobe Suite, PDF Maker, all that, acquired Magento, the e-commerce platform.
Yeah,
And for a while, it didn't really have much of an impact, but recently some news has come to light that there's some stuff we need to pay attention to. Can you enlighten us a little bit about what we've been learning?
sure. Adobe announced in this late summer that they were shifting to using microservices and away from what's called the monolithic code base. In other words, they were basically splitting off the back end services into a licensing model that you, of course, would have to license from Adobe. This is a huge change because so far, it's up to this point, it's been completely free and open source to use without any obligation to pay really anybody anything, because that's what open source means. So this created a tremendous hue and cry in the developer community, saying, "Wait a minute, this is a major change in the business model for a lot of our customers, and this is not how we sold the sites or what they're expecting."
Yeah.
So there's been a big kind of discussion and change in the community about what to do about this particular announcement from Adobe.
And so what's happening? I mean, does this mean that all of a sudden all the sites are going to have to purchase the Adobe platform or is the open
No,
source?
well, in terms of what's happening with the community, there's an organization called the Magento Association, which was actually started by Adobe to communicate with the user base. And that's been running for a while now, 3-4 years. However, some of the other, I guess you could call them activist or more active developers, very high profile developers, have started a discussion about wanting to fork the code base. Basically, because it's open source, you can do that and adopt the code base and maintain it and take it in a bit of a different direction, because as it's been going, it's been getting more complex and more difficult, more features, but just overall, it's become substantially more difficult and challenging to work with to build Magento sites because it can do so many more things. What they're saying is that we can make this better. We can get rid of some of these features that aren't really needed in the site. So they have contributed to the core code base in the past, and there's this kind of like, okay, we're not really sure what Adobe's doing. They haven't come up with a roadmap for what's happening with open source. So we're concerned about this business model. This group is working with Magento Association to come up with a plan by the end of the year. It's not far away, 2 months, to figure out what to do with the open source code base, and if they will fork it and adopt it and maintain it, or get a commitment from Adobe about what's happening. So that's kind of the stage for this.
And what level of concern do you think that anyone running a Magento site right now should have about this situation?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, this doesn't affect any running site at all at present. I mean, it's open source code. It's built on open source code. It'll run forever until you want to not run it anymore. It will impact upgrades at some point whenever the site needs to be upgraded. So that is a concern, because the way upgrades are done nowadays is the code is pulled from repositories, and right now those repositories exist sponsored and run by Adobe. And at some point that will change. So when there is that change, there will need to be a switch or a shift, but that really depends upon the individual site. So the takeaways are, first of all, your site will continue to run, absolutely. There are a couple different paths forward. We just have to wait to see until those are becoming clear. And the third takeaway is that this developer community is huge. It is, I just checked out the Magento Association site, and one point they make is Magento is the largest e-commerce platform in the United States, and the United States is the largest e-commerce market in the world. So it has
Okay.
got a huge user base. There are tens of thousands of developers that build Magento sites, and they and we are not about to get the rug pulled on from under us, change everybody's business model, because it affects our customers. And that's important to us. So we want to do the right thing by our customers.
Great. Thank you, Eric.
Sure.